Today's society frequently uses cannabis as a drug. It is also used as a medication and is found everywhere, including colleges and medical facilities. But you may be shocked to learn that cannabis has a long history, having been used in numerous ancient nations. Looking more closely, we can find that there's some evidence for the usage of cannabis in ancient Western China, ancient Europe, and ancient India. In a publication detailing scientific breakthroughs, archaeologists reported finding what appeared to have been cannabis residues at an old Chinese burial site. The site is situated in the Pamir Mountains Zurgzon Hall Cemetery, according to Wu. These researchers were able to assert that the drugs were utilized in ceremonies and rituals thanks to the discovery of this substance. In addition to cannabis residues, some of the items were also found, including stones and burns that tested positive for cannabis. This demonstrates evidence that the cannabis has grown for many centuries and is not just a modern phenomenon. Also, the researchers found that certain materials contained cannabinol and other THC-related compounds. As far as we may know, cannabis could have been grown since all the way back in the 500 BCE, according to researchers Max Planck. A brazier and stone from the Zurgzon Cemetery in the Pamir Mountains were also discovered, along with the extraordinary well-preserved grave of the Tang Dynasty soldier Gu Xing, which may have included cannabis traces. In addition to ancient artifacts, there is also the Pen Chao Ching, the first book of Chinese medicine. It was written around 2727 BC. The first known evidence of marijuana use is this. Regarding the use of hemp, this book contains proof of cannabis use in medicine for hundreds of medical procedures. They wrote that they thought it would be useful in treating malaria and rheumatism. They specifically utilized the Chinese word cannabis, ma, in the text. Ancient Egypt comes next. Even the ancient Egyptians smoked marijuana. In ancient Egypt, it was thought that cannabis was used as medicine. Knowledge of cannabis use in ancient Egypt is primarily derived from the accounts of the papyrus surfacing during that period. The term shem appeared frequently in literature. According to the various resources in medicine, it referred to as a crop and is cited several times, according to Ludger. The ancient Egyptians were well ahead of their time in terms of medicine. At the time, people believed that in order to be healed, evil had to be driven into the body, and particularly plants and animals might be able to do this. One of the most noteworthy recommendations for cannabis use for glaucoma, which was an eye disease that can cause vision loss, was to ground the plant with celery and leave it for the night, according to Ludger. Other papyrus include the Eber Papyrus and the Berlin Papyrus, which had to do with Shemshemet. Shemshemet, which is written out in many documents, is the Egyptian word for cannabis. There's also the tomb of the Memnon, in addition to some writing. The Egyptian goddess of writing, Shen was shown in this tube with a star-shaped leaf on her head and hands. Shen is a cannabis-inspired subject that was written there. Lastly, in ancient India, it was mentioned that smoking ganja was a common activity to a Jewish doctor named Garcia de Orito in 1563, and the Dutch minister in India, Hendrik van Zede. We know now that cannabis leaves are used to make ganja. Hemp is used for a variety of purposes, according to Kwal Kar. Hemp was widely used in a ritual cannabis-infused drinks, spiritual practices, and a long number of other things. Many Indian folks sing songs that also contain the reference to ganja, and described how soldiers would consume this and become toxic before entering the battlefield. According to Joe Beinloss, in addition to the songs, a key piece of evidence was the mystery surrounding the durability of ancient Indians' caves paintings, which were discovered 1,500 years after they were originally drawn. In the particular painting, the marijuana was also blended with hemp. According to research, the leaner plaster contains over 10% of the psychoactive compound THC, which is found in cannabis sativa. Moreover, there are some writings, such as rigged manuscript pages, that contain indications of hemp as well. In conclusion, over thousands of years, cannabis has been used and has had a significant impact on several communities all around the world. This may be ceremonial, ritual, medical, but we've been looking at how these cannabis was utilized in the most distinctive communities of the ancient world to honor the plant's adaptability and how we have learned to use it over time.